say again what that tape is?
It's marked,
That's the auger that brings the glue up.
Okay,
You don't want to shut that off. It goes off automatically when the temperature goes down and the glue gets hard.
okay, okay.
But he says it's best not to shut that off until the glue.
Okay.
So when you turn this machine on and off, that's this one right here. Usually it's going to be like that. And then this one.
okay.
Well, you have the main switch
That actually
to...
turns, this one turns the heat on to the glue pot. And that light goes on when it's hot enough. It's hot enough now. And that's the auger bringing the glue up.
And is that the temperature there? On the left?
Yeah, that's the temperature.
So is that generally what it wants to be up at?
Somewhere in there.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know because the light will go on.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Yeah. So this one is for the belt. These two are for the trimmers that trim the tape, front and back and top and bottom.
And those two are trimmers, last two green buttons.
Yeah. This one here is the buffing wheel. Now we only use that if we're
Pre-finished.
doing a pre-finished. It's something that we're going to sand. I don't use that. I just, wearing it out for no reason at all.
So you're just using the trimmer? Well, you're just using the trimmers? The two trimmers? No, but on a regular,
Yeah.
On pre-finished shells.
yeah,
it's a
but on the
buffing wheel.
regular,
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
Anything that has pre-finish on it, I put the buffer on. First I go from here.
What do you have to do to get
Yeah.
it set up to get hot, and how much time do you need to get it ready for your, like, let's say I want to, do some banding.
It's
How
going
much
to take
time do
at
I
least
need?
15 minutes.
15
Okay.
minutes to half an hour.
Yeah, you like to turn this on a little before. If you're anticipating you're going to be gluing it up, you want to put that on a little bit
There's
before.
a switch on the other side too that it has to be on, and the air has to be on.
The air has to be plugged in. And there's an on and off, yeah, there's an on and off switch over here. That's off, that's on. And over here is the glue pot. And that's got enough glue in it now.
You don't want to put your hand in there.
No.
Every once in a while you gotta check that for glue.
What about maintenance?
Wait a minute. This operates.
I know, I mean on the
For a
glue,
little bit.
on the glue pot, yeah.
Actually, that glue pot, they say you should clean out every so often. Because it starts getting this shit in, pieces in it, burnt pieces.
Yeah.
These do for clean out.
I know how to clean that out. So does JT.
Once it sticks in it, let it
Put a bunch of sticks in it, let it cool and pull it
Yeah,
out.
yeah, I
and then
cleaned it out. I put some sticks in there and then let it, while it's hot, and then let it cool down some, and then pull this, until the sticks are stuck good, and then that usually peels most of it out.
Once in a while, I'll get in there, after you do that part, I'll get in there and actually clean all of everything out from the end and get everything out of there and clean the entire glue pot out.
So this needs.
But that doesn't have to happen
This
regularly.
really should be cleaned soon.
Maybe we do it today when we're done doing banding.
Yeah, if you have, yeah.
I think we'll have time.
If someone
We
has
can do it.
time.
Today or tomorrow will be good. See if you can do it tomorrow too.
Now, when you're putting flour through, it's best to, and it comes in different thicknesses, and it varies a lot, but you really should measure, zero that. That's in inches. Come on, change the metric. There we go. I got that zeroed. 18.54, 18.36. I mean, this stuff varies so much. So I might take a couple measurements of the board. 18.4, 18.6. I'll just take an average. I'll put an 18.5. He's got an 18.8. Well, I don't know what yours. You'll measure that later. So this is here for your thickness of wood. Closer this is to the wood, the trimming gets better, especially on the pre-finished stuff.
What is that going down to the hundredths? What's that?
Tenths. 18.5 millimeters.
Okay.
You give it quarter inch, half inch.
So,
if you're gonna change it to an inch, if you're going, you gotta crank that way up.
you know, crank that.
Okay.
half inch the way back here.
Yeah.
And what is the smallest piece you can, thickness wise, you can do?
Quarter inch.
We've never done really quarter inch, we only do half inch and 3/4 an inch. But
Yeah, I don't think we ever did quarter.
What's the
Well, I
thickest?
might have once.
What's the thickest we can do? Inch and a half? No.
no, that's just the minimum length and width.
Yeah, minimum width and length. Anything smaller than that ain't gonna work. Minimum width 2 3/8. Minimum length 5.5.
Okay, but what about thickness?
I forgot what it was.
Okay.
I mean,
It's
you don't
like
have
inch
thicker
and-
paper. We don't
it's
have any
either
half what
inch
paper
and-
we have.
Well,
Inch
yeah,
and a
but we
quarter,
have
inch
thicker
and a half.
wood.
I have
We're
to
doing
look
wood
at it.
edging.
I have to look in the manual. It's either inch and a quarter or inch and a half.
I mean, you only
somewhere in
have
there.
this much, so that's inch and a half. I mean, you don't have more than that.
Yeah, I
Close to the
think it's
machine.
around an inch and a half. Somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's
Here
good.
you
That's good to know if you're designing, because you know you can add an inch, whatever it is, if you want to do an 1/8 inch wood strip.
Yeah, we can
We
do
need
this.
to know what we can go up to.
I have to check in the manual.
Yeah.
Uh,
So how do you add? How do you feed that in?
Yeah, this goes on here, tape. Goes inside this thing, under this bar, into here. Now this little thing here wants to be, you know, just above it, helps keep it in line, and so does this. This loosens up with this wrench here. If you're, you know, we don't move that too much, but when we're doing inch banding, we have to move that up and move this up. So it fits on here, and these two just kind of try to keep it in line. And when this goes in here, it needs to be just past this thing.
If not, it misses. And then you go over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it needs to be out there.
Mm-hmm.
And if it misses, if the shelf's going in there, and it misses grabbing on the tape, it puts all the glue on this wheel, and you gotta clean it off. So it's good to check where the tape is before you,
Got to make sure it's all the way.
before you put the thing in there.
All the way to the wheel.
So that it's actually a little bit past the wheel here.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
This issue. Sometimes there's a little switch that gets stuck down here. If this thing stops cutting the tape, when the wood comes over this, it pushes this down, which lifts the cutter up. And then when it wood passes it, lets it cut. Sometimes this is dirty and clogged up with glue and stuff, and that'll stick, and it'll have to be cleaned out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, you know, if the tape stops cutting, that's your issue. That little switch there.
Okay. How do you clean it out?
That's a pain in the butt. It's hard to get to.
You
When
get to
go
it
in
from
there,
you get to it from here or from the front?
look from here,
Oh, okay. With
and I
the,
try lubing it.
yeah.
Probably doesn't hurt to lube that once in a while.
Yeah.
If you're using this every day, you're supposed to put 1 or 2 shots of grease in the auger, which is this grease fitting right here. That grease fitting right here,
Mm-hmm.
that's for the auger.
that's where the lubrication goes.
That's supposed to be done every day, if you use
you're
it all,
using it
if
all
you use
the
it all the time.
Okay. And the grease gun is,
Up there.
Down.
Down.
This is regular, that goes on the belt. And high temperature, that's for
Goes
the
there.
auger. The other one did say linear, oh yeah, here, it says it on the arm, linear, that's for these grease fins. Three different kinds of grease.
And a lot of times, like, it looks like to me that this needs to be done again, but I like to come in here and hose out all the debris from the shaving and the glue particulate, because it'll get in the way and clog things up and stop stuff if you don't keep it cleaned out.
Yeah, what happens a lot, you might be using the machine and all of a sudden it shuts down. But when it shuts down, this red light over here, this light will come on. No stop. It'll stop and this light will come on over here. And this right here is actually a shut-off button, emergency shut-off button. But what I'll do is when that stops, usually that means a breaker kicked in here. And a breaker kicks because these little pieces of, these little things that get trimmed off with some glue on them get stuck up here up by this saw blade. And you gotta go up in here and clear them out. Just that. Make sure that thing's not spinning when you open this up again.
The power's off and it still can spin. You
Yeah.
know.
I would just shut the
what is it, okay, what's spinning? This
saw
here?
blade.
The saw blade is actually spinning out
That's a
there.
blade right there.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah, you gotta
Right.
go stick our hands in there with that spinning. Make sure everything's
There's one right there too.
yeah.
Two of
So
them
there's
there.
paper here.
Now
Try to get you.
when it stops, a breaker probably has gone bad. So you have to turn it off here. And it's usually one of these breakers. There's also a few over here. One of these went off on me one time. So you check the breakers, they're on,
Flip it, yeah,
off, on. Then once you got the breakers fixed and junk cleared out here, you're ready to go again.
and,
These-
there's also trimming, adjustments on that, on those dials.
Yes.
These things are adjustments for, how deep it's trimming in and out and up and down. And I haven't touched those in a long time because it hasn't been doing too bad, but
But you probably adjust the up and downs, right?
yeah, these I do occasionally. When the guy first came here, he had these on 0, and now we have them a little bit off because to make it trim better. When you're cutting a solid wood, you I think I have a marker here. Make it around 1.5 for the 1/8 inch banding, 1.5 inches longer than what you're going to glue it on. And and when you're doing the solid wood banding, you have to dismantle this cutter. You would bring it up and put that there so it doesn't go up and down.
Okay.
And then also you would adjust.
So you don't cut the wood?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not going to cut the wood. and then you could stack your pieces in here, and then you let me see. Yeah, this you make that so that push pressure against your stacks of wood, and then you have to adjust this in and out. I'm not going to do it now, so the wood will go through that opening. One will pass through it easily.
So you're lining up several pieces of wood there?
You can, yeah.
Uh-huh, okay.
You kind of stack, offset them
Hmm.
and lay them in there.
Yeah, you just stack them right in here. And the one, I think the one you have to bring, the first one you bring up to the catch.
Yeah, the first one.
And then after that, they should flow through.
Every time you put a piece in.
Yeah. Yeah, this. So I'm putting this wood in here and I won't go through the opening because I have it set up, so I'm gonna bring this so it gets through here. There it goes.
And what is this adjustment that you're holding in one hand?
This little piece right here.
So that the wood will go through here.
Yeah.
And then this goes against here.
Oh, yeah.
So the one will go through and not another one. Yeah, and push that, it's ready to go. Should be ready to go.
JT, you want to run it through?
Same steps.
Got that?
Same steps.
Yep.
Now you gotta wait for it to get all the way.
That was a little thick.
Now, if after it hits here, Tim, you can put the next one in.
We cut it, that's why it made that noise. You left the cutter on.
How'd the cut do?
It works.
Look at that. That cut very
You want to
nice.
run it through again, JT? The other side?
Now wait a minute, for some reason this didn't flow
It didn't
forward.
feed?
The piece got stuck in there and then moved forward. I think that thing might need to be cleaned up. So you cut
We'll
that-
clean it.
That's off, it should cut. Did it cut? No.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, it cut both edges.
Yeah, the trimmer cut it. Okay. You just leave it a little bit long, not big long. The tape is real big.
What is this cut?
It cuts the tape roughly. A rough cut tape. That's why we rough cut the wood beforehand. Now this didn't move forward for some reason, so I had to move it forward.
Huh?
So I put it again.
Does it have anything to do with the length or just,
I don't know, that
No, it
thing,
probably
that thing
needs to
might
be
need to be
cleaned.
cleaned off. There's little teeth on it that move it forward.
And sometimes the glue will get all gobbed up on it, so you have to go in there and like pick the glue out and clean it. There it goes. It didn't take it. It might add too little thick.
It might be a little thick.
It did it the first time.
Yeah, I don't know why it got stuck in there. Might have something to do with this.
It's all broken.
This thing needs to be cleaned, see?
Yeah.
That's probably the problem. It's too dirty. See all the glue in there?
Yeah.
It's not grabbing it.
too much friction?
Too much, yeah, it's not grabbing it, a lot of friction.
Okay.
Just shut it on and clean it up.
Yeah. You gotta fiddle with that machine.
It's right there. See,
Yeah.
you just have to get it, it's stuck between the rollers.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if
Push
you're,
it out, and you can grab it.
I think Peter mentioned if you're putting multiple things through here, don't put the next one in until
Yeah.
it goes past this little arrow here.
Yeah.
Or else all that mechanisms in there trimming are gonna bump into it, not work right. Anything else we missed?
Well, if it
There,
stops,
I mean, there's a lot of
What,
stuff, but.
yeah, well, I mean, like, for example, when it comes out the other end, what has to be done? How much trimming do we need to do to have no edge on the tape? See this edge on the tape?
usually
Oh, yeah, shoot.
you just break it
You
with
know,
the
there's something I
sanding block.
didn't do here. Maybe that's why that didn't work right. I'm supposed to adjust this to the thickness of
Thickness of the wood?
the wood.
That's probably why it didn't work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
First one worked.
yeah, I did, but, yeah, it's supposed to adjust this.
What do you adjust it up to? It's on
Well-
0 now, or what? I can't see.
No,
You gotta
it's-
use that gauge.
Yeah, you gotta,
Measure.
You gotta measure it and then put it on there. Right now, it's probably, it's on there for the banding tape.
Ah,
Yeah, and that,
So, it's like point,
right, settings down.
0.5 millimeters. Yeah, this should have been, changed.
to whatever an eighth of an inch is via millimeters.
Yeah.
Well, use the.
It's best to go a little under an eighth. They say so many millimeters. I think
Yep.
3 or something, which is a little less than an eighth.
mm-hmm,
That was a little thick.
mm-hmm.
You can see how it's wanting to crack. It's got to be able to bend right here.
Yes. Has to be able to go around the roller.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote it down in my notes.
Is that actually the roller? I mean, is that putting pressure on something, or what?
It
We
might,
know-
it might be doing
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah, right.
It's positioning something.
Yeah, God knows where it comes out on the other end. Okay,
Yeah.
You
Oh,
start
yeah.
these two before you start this.
Yeah, start your trimmers and make sure they're going. If it's, if this thing stops in the middle of an operation, make sure your trimmers are running before you start the belt running.
Because
Yeah.
it won't cut when it goes through. You don't have to cut
Yeah,
it off.
because these things take a little while to wind up.
Get ready to go.
Yeah.
trimmers have to be on.
First.
Yeah, I
Yep,
usually cut them
Before-
on first. They take a while to wind up.
yeah,
For some reason, they're not really fast starting motors.
okay.
That's why they get jammed real easy. A little bit of friction on them kind of shuts the thing down.
Hmm,
They're weird.
mm-hmm,
$1,000 motors. They're like little routers that cost $1,000 each.
wow.
The one over here, I was really thinking was going to go. Doesn't seem too bad now. The bearings seem to be starting to get a little noisy. But
Can we replace that bearing ourselves?
No.
they sell rebuilt ones. You send that back. We're not going to deal with that.
What motors? This one?
Yeah, this one I was thinking. It seems better now, but it was like. Wow, it seemed to be making a little bit of rattle.
Yeah, because if that goes, we could be down a bander for a
Not
while.
that long.
No?
I think they have them rebuilt. They'll send one out. We send that back and get our.
They'll send the whole motor?
They'll send you the motor first, and then when you send the other motor, they give you a reimbursement. It's like a core charge.
Core charge, yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So you pay a core
So what?
charge, you send yours.
Yeah,
back.
no, if they have them set up already, that's,
Degrees centigrade, I guess.
Yeah, it's ready to be cleaned. It
is
hasn't
that,
been
is
done
that the
in a
glue
while.
down there?
The glue's in the
In a
trash
trash
can
can.
and a
Oh,
big
the trash
bag.
can, okay.
Oh, yeah.
That's
And a
right.
scooper.
Scooper, okay. Looks like kitty litter
Yes.
or rabbit food?
Those little sugar candies. Want one?
Little sugar candies, want one?
I
A
don't-
lot of times when the banding tape is
I don't
like
think I'm
really,
in the market
there's a
today.
lot of banding tape loose, like sometimes the glue won't get on it. And there's a big chunk of banding tape loose, instead of using wood glue or super glue to stick it back down, I'll come in here and get some of those little pellets and slice them with the utility knife and stick them behind the banding tape and then heat them with the iron to glue it on, rather than using super, when it's a large
You
section.
gotta get the iron pretty hot to get them melted?
Oh no, the iron does great. The iron does really well. Like you just turn the iron up, the iron's always on high, and you just stick it on there, and you see the glue will start to ooze out the sides, and you know you got it good.
Gotcha.
Yeah, sometimes if you miss, this wheel gets glue on, it looks like it's a little bit, you might want to clean that before you go. Because see, this one puts pressure on it, and that'll make the dents, when people see dents in the front of it,
Yep.
it's from this roller right here, so make sure that glue is cleaned off of there.
All right, that's two things I learned.
Mhm.
one? This one.
Yeah.
That's fine, it's a little.
Line in it somehow.
Yeah,
I think
mhm.
you have to-
Yeah.
That's what that's.